Physical Mira. Physical Mira for you guys. So Physical Mirror comes out during the Extreme Super Battle meta. Of course, he's a November of 2020 awakening. And I think that Physical Mirror is just bad for Extreme Super Battle Road. And I think he's even bad for stacking in long events too, because this guy doesn't start out with an attack and defensive buff, and he builds up rather slowly. You guys know you need defense to build up off of for your stacking to be sufficient. And this guy has no sort of defense inside his passive that is standalone to help him stack his defense. Now, sure, he has this start a turn attack buff, that being 30% when the entire rotation is extreme class characters, which is cool, and he does build up 1 key to 3, I guess, but 30% attack and 3 key is not enough at all. So all he really has is 100% attack and defense on super attack when he's actually stacking. And technically that's not helping out his stacking anyways, because as you guys know, you need a start a turn attack and defensive buff to help your stacking attack and defense. And when he does do his little absorption, when his HP 60% or less, starting from the fourth turn for start of battle, you go into the Mirror Final Form, which doesn't really become that much more better either. It's like cool, technically you do gain a start turn attack and defensive buff with both this 30% attack right over here with his 5% attack and defense for each extreme class ally on the team. But I mean, guess what? That only goes up to like 30%, including himself. Maybe 35%, including the friend support. Because, I mean, including the friend support, that's technically, yeah, it's a 6. Yeah. So that's only 30% attack and defense on top of his 30% attack right over here with the entire rotation extreme class. So when you have essentially a full extreme class team, this guy post transformation, it's like he's only going to have a 60% attack with 30% defense at the start of turn with 3 key and 120% attack when performing a super attack. And this guy stops stacking defense. I like how he stops stacking defense with his attack right after he gets a defensive buff at the start of turn. This is how you design a unit, guys. No, you don't design a unit like this, because this is horrendous. That coupled the fact that he doesn't have big bad bosses, his links are terrible, and for the Extreme Super Battle meta, he's a complete just 0 because he's not doing no sort of status procs for like the legendary Goku event, because you can still technically use that guy in there, because I mean he is extreme physical going up against one of the toughest bosses in the game, that being the Int UI Goku. Even though Extreme Super Battle Road is now the toughest content in the game in 2020, you could technically bring this guy up against Int UI Goku and maybe he can perform. But the thing is, by the time you get to STR UI, this guy can get hurt really, really badly, because A, he's extreme, and B, he is physical. So you guys know what STR UI does to extreme physical units. They get touched very, very badly. This guy can get backhanded inside the legendary Goku event, and it would not be pretty. So it's like, let's go and take a quick peek at how many 200% leader skills this weirdo is on. So Physical Mirror is only on 200% leader skills, that being AGL Cells 200% leader skill to Power Absorption and Androids, and for Super Hearts 200% leader skill to Time Travelers and Crossover. So what is good about Physical Mirror? I mean, the only real thing that I can say that is good about this guy is the fact that he does gain an attack defensive buff from his passive on super attack. That is definitely nice. But that is probably the only thing I really like about this guy's card. That coupled with the fact that maybe his key buildup is very, very nice too, considering his link set is complete butt cheeks. It's like he then starts out with the key just unconditionally outright when you do transform this guy. I mean, technically it is conditional because you have to have a full stream class rotation, but still the thing is that he does start out with key, which definitely helps this guy because his link set sucks, and him gaining a attack defensive buff on super attack from his passive is good. That is it. That is the only thing I actually like about this card, is those two specific things. Now, what is bad about this guy? The main thing that is bad about this guy is the fact that he does not start out with a attack and defensive buff to help him stack his attack and defense. I do not know what the thought process was when creating this unit, but it was pretty much a stupid one. Like, why? Like, come on, Dokkan. No. We want stacking units to start out with attack and defensive buffs so they can have attack and defense to build up off of. It's like a building block. You got to have your foundation, and your attack and defensive buff at the start of turn is your foundation with your stack and attack and defense, so you can start stacking to build it up. So I think that is the core issue with this guy's kit. I mean, that's really it. Just him not starting out with an attack and defensive buff. It's like his absorption condition is completely fine. This shouldn't be too hard to get off. It's like just below 6% less HP, starting from the 4th turn. It's like his absorption condition is pretty easy to get off. I'm not even gonna lie, but I think the only issue is that this guy doesn't start out with the attack and defensive buff at the start of the turn, help him stack. That is it, really. I mean, they could have gave him like stun chance, they could have gave him like seal, they could have gave him an attack debuff on super attack, because remember, this guy comes out during the extreme super battle meta, so he could be a helpful option for extreme physical, which is already lacking options back in 2020 anyways. But I think that is really about it. Let's take a quick peek at his linking partners before I close out the video. Yeah. Yeah, Tech Doa, yeah, for sure. Alright, so I think that is really about it. I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are the best. I will catch you guys in the next video, and I love you all. Peace.